and thanks for tuning in. This is Around Town with Laurel Board of Trade, where we shine a spotlight on some of our amazing local businesses that are right here in our community. I'm your host, Carla Conway. I'm a graphic designer with Uncommon Design, and I'm also one of the directors for the Laurel Board of Trade. So thank you so much for being with us today. So today I'm very excited. We have Anastasia Elliott and we have Glenn Fellman, and they are with Seasonal Roots. So welcome and thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
It's a pleasure to be here today.
Great. So you describe Seasonal Roots as an online farmers market. What does that mean, and how are you different from what's called a CSA? Kind of explain that to us.
Sure. Well, we live in the age of advanced technology. Everything is online, even the farmers market is online. So what it means is that I always explain to people that they can go online to Seasonal Roots and choose from what's available on the market that week and put it in their basket, and then we deliver it to them.
Okay.
And it's also one of the differences from CSA that they can, once they become members, everything else is up to them. What goes in the box, how many items go in the box, when they receive it, how often they want to receive it, weekly, bi-weekly, or if they go on vacation, they can pause. And and also we're open all year round.
Excellent.
Unlike farmers markets and CSAs, they close for the winter. And plus, all of this gets delivered to their doorstep. Like we say at Seasonal Roots, from dirt to doorstep.
Yeah, I love that, from dirt to doorstep. So when and why was Seasonal Roots created in the first place?
Sure. Seasonal Roots was started about 13 years ago, and it was founded in Richmond.
Okay.
And it was really founded to help a few local farmers who wanted to find a better way to get their products right into their neighboring communities without having to go through a farmer's market or all the way through the grocery chain. And so our founder, Dwayne Slider, came up with this idea of building a website where they could facilitate that. It was very popular, and so it grew quickly. And then it expanded into other areas of Virginia outside of Richmond, and eventually all the way into Maryland. So we deliver all the way from Hampton Roads, southern Virginia, all the way through, and the northernmost area now is Columbia and Howard County.
Wow, and you're right here in Laurel.
Yes, we are.
We're excited about that.
Thrilled to be here.
So Glenn, I know you have some amazing local produce, but do you offer any other farm goods? Tell us about that.
Oh, we do. We have a lot of farm products that are from both Maryland and Virginia. In the meat categories, we have steaks, we have ground beef, all different cuts of steaks and roasts. Chicken, we have the whole chickens, we have chicken parts. We have sausages, a bunch of different sausages, breakfast sausages, ground sausage, really good stuff. We have lamb, and different things come in the market, seasonally and depending on what's being, butchered at any time of the year. We're working with very small growers, very small farmers and ranchers. So it's always changing every week, but it's always really fun.
That's good. Are you finding like during the holidays, is there a particular trend? Like, are people eating one particular product or?
Well, we tailor our markets sort of to match the seasons.
Okay.
So for Thanksgiving, we had an incredible array of products that some of them were prepared. So you could get stuffing and mashed potatoes and sweet potatoes ready to just put in the oven and for half an hour and reheat. But we also did whole turkeys this year too.
Okay.
So we try to keep our market geared towards the season and towards what people would traditionally want that time of year.
Okay. Thanks. Now, how about any other condiments or unique items that kind of go along with your products? Can you tell us about that?
I counted about 12 different categories that we offer, like artisan items. So there's canned and fermented, like sauerkraut and things like that. And we have a large section, bakery section, different kinds of breads and breakfast items like, muffins and things like that. And then we have chips, dips, and spreads. And we have salsas, all sorts of salsas, and coffee and tea. And we offer dairy products. And then, of course, fruits and vegetables seasonally. And we have a home and wellness section where you can get some soaps and candles. And Glenn talked about meat. And then there's even pet treats, like dog treats and prepared foods. They can order some soups or macaroni salad or sandwiches or lasagna or things like that. And then there's a vegan section also. We have tofu and tempeh and lots of add-ons.
That's so important too, that you get the vegan
Yep.
things. Sounds like you guys have got it covered. So tell us a little bit about how local your farmers and these various artisans are.
Sure. Well, because of the way that we distribute our food and our focus on freshness, everything is sort of hyper local. So our main packing facility, we try to get within about 150 miles of that.
Okay.
So that takes us into southern Virginia, into most of Maryland. And then at different times of the year, we may source a little further out. We may go, for instance, this time of year into the Carolinas, where they can still grow things in the ground that we can't anymore because we've had too much cold weather.
Okay.
And then we do bring in like some citrus and things this time of year. I think our tangelos this week came from Georgia, so we're trying to stay as close to local as we can. The majority of our products, though, are very local. We had hydrobib lettuce this week was Maryland lettuce. It could be Virginia lettuce next week, depending on what our growers have available to us. But again, it's unique on our website because if you want to know literally where's that carrot coming from, you click on the icon next to the carrot. The website shows you the farm. You read about the farm, their practices. It's very unique that way. You usually can't figure out down to the vegetable where it's coming from.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add that we're not tied to one farm. So if something doesn't produce in one farm, we can go to another, and we always have something to offer.
Excellent. You can tap into a lot. Many of your products come from organic growers, but not all, in that you focus more on sustainable farming practices, land and chemical usage. So tell us a little bit about what does all of that mean?
Sure. So, to be a USDA certified farm, it's that organic grower. That's an important thing, and it's a nice achievement. But it's not an easy achievement for a small farm or for a farm that specializes in one very seasonal type of product. So some of the smaller growers who are great quality, they don't do that or can't do that, and so we don't rule them out of our supply chain. We talk to them, we get to know them, we visit them. We go out there and we learn about their practices. Cool. And what you find is that you have family farms, generational farms, 3-4 generations back. They've been on the same land. They're not going to dump chemicals into their land. They're not going to abuse it because it's fed their families for generations. And so those are the types of farms when we find them and we learn about how they treat their land or how they treat their animals, and it meets with our standards, which are very high. Then we bring them into our group, and we love to work with them. And some of our farms are amazing. We work with an orchard in Virginia. It's been around for 110 years. It's in the 4th generation of the family, and that's where the majority of our tree fruit comes from. So you just got to find the right farms.
That's pretty exciting. So describe the production process from harvest to table. And I think our viewers will be interested. How many days are we talking about? And does the produce ever get warehoused? So, when they're getting it, what's that process?
So our members, they can get online during the weekend and place their orders. And our farmers or artisans, they harvest or prepare their items on Sunday or Monday. Okay. And then on Tuesday, everything gets delivered to our hub in Richmond, Virginia, and gets put in the boxes, customers' boxes. And then on Wednesday or Thursday, they get it.
Okay, that's pretty quick.
Yep.
Yeah. The produce that in Laurel and all of Maryland we deliver on Wednesday. Okay. And so the things that people get on Wednesday, the vegetables are probably still in the ground on Sunday, maybe even on Monday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk about fresh. Okay. So some services focus on produce that might not be suitable for retail because it doesn't look the best, even if it's perfectly edible. So how is your quality?
So when I became a member of Seasonal Roots, I was really picky about, the box gets delivered to me, so I don't get to look at what I get. And I'm really picky when I go grocery shopping. I want the best, I want the biggest, I want the nicest looking bunch. And I gave Seasonal Roots a try, and actually I was really super happy because all the items go through quality check. First, the farmers deliver to us their best, and then when the team that we have in Richmond, Virginia, puts it in boxes, that's the next level of checking, quality checking. And then when the boxes get delivered to our locations in Silver Spring or Rockville or wherever, and we're hoping in Columbia soon, then that's the next level of quality check. And if there is something that our market managers don't like or doesn't look as best, we have an extra box of produce that we can swap.
Okay.
We want to keep our customers happy, so we give them the best.
The best and the best looking.
Yep.
Okay, so how are seasonal roots prices in comparisons to other grocery stores and farmers market?
I want to answer that again because I'm also very picky when I became a member about the prices, because I always compare my prices with this farmer's market or this grocery store. I want the best price for my family. And but once I started with seasonal roots, I was getting the best service, the best products, and the prices are in between like organic and not organic that you see in the grocery store. But it's so worth it because of convenience. You don't have to go to grocery store and then bring it to your house. It gets delivered to you.
Yeah, that is a perk. Okay, so your final mile delivery system apparently is very unique. Tell us about the drivers who deliver to all of your different customers' homes.
Let me do that one. It's a really special thing. It's what sets us apart from anyone who's anything like us. So I'm going to use Anastasia as an example. Anastasia was a member. She was ordering, and we were growing in her neighborhood, and we needed someone to help us make deliveries. All of our final mile delivery people, not all of them, most of them come right out of our membership.
Okay.
So they're stay-at-home moms and dads, or work-from-home moms and dads, or they're gig economy workers or recent retirees.
Okay.
And what happens is they go to what we call our party stop, and when they get to the party stop, there's a truck that comes up from our packing hub, and it has maybe 300 or 400 orders that are going out in that area.
That's a lot of orders.
And so you get you get a group of neighbors who basically show up. They do the quality control check that Anastasia was talking about. They look at every box, at every piece of fruit and vegetable, make sure that it's excellent. They load them into their cars, and then they deliver to maybe 10, 15, 20 neighbors, really within where they live.
Okay.
And then they go home. And we pay them well for their work.
Okay.
But it's very unique because it allows us to get into neighborhoods in a very personal way that no other company really can. So most of our market managers, that's what we call our delivery folks, most of them, they know their customers. They'll have conversations with them. They see them in their local community Facebook groups. They might even know them from the PTA.
Yeah.
It's just a very unique distribution system.
And word of mouth, if you get a wonderful, batch of clementines, or if it's, man, this cantaloupe was amazing,
Right.
We're going to have a lot of excitement there. That's excellent. So if your customers, for some reason, don't get that, special experience and they're not happy with something, how do you handle that?
It's very simple. They just go on the Seasonal Roots website and to log into their page, and then they can request a replacement, and they can either ask for a refund or a replacement of that item that they were not satisfied with.
So let's say I got some beets, and I'm thinking, maybe I don't really want those. Can I get some different type of lettuce, or can I get another vegetables, or can I get more, or is it just like everything I order on Sunday is in that order?
It's what you choose. You go through the whole menu. You
Okay.
pick exactly what you want, and we
Gotcha.
bring you exactly what you ordered. Let's just say it happened this week. We had a couple orders we couldn't fulfill one item on. We ran out.
Okay.
So we put a little note in the member's order. Sorry, we ran out of this item. We've given you a couple other items just as a we're
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah.
So sorry you didn't give you beets, but instead we gave you leeks or something like that.
Okay.
But then we'll still the next week replace that item or give them a credit for that item depending
Gotcha.
on what they prefer.
Okay.
We really do want the order experience to be excellent.
Yeah.
And so if there's ever something that's, for whatever reason isn't up to someone's standards,
That's
they
great.
just tell us, and there's no questions asked. We'll replace it, we'll refund you, we'll take care of you.
Excellent. Good customer service.
Yeah.
So I understand that you've sponsored dozens of fundraisers. That's another thing that you do that's very exciting. And you've donated thousands of dollars each year to schools in the community, different organizations. Tell us about those programs and who benefits.
That's probably the best part of what we do is for me, I have to say. So we're in about 25 Montgomery County public schools this year. We're in about half a dozen Howard County schools.
Okay.
We're in several private schools, and we're also in Virginia schools. And our program is awesome because people sign up for seasonal roots through the school. They use a special code that we assign to the school, and then we give $20 to the school for each sign up they get. And so we've had schools that have easily raised over $1,000 in a school year.
That's great.
Through our program, and it's no effort for the schools because we prepare everything for them. They just communicate information about the program. And it's nice because some of the school fundraisers, I love popcorn, but some of them maybe aren't the healthiest or maybe aren't the best choices. And so we give a really wholesome, unique program that they can bring into their school communities.
Yeah.
And then we go into the school and we support them in a lot of ways. We give out tens of thousands of apples every year at school events, different types of movie nights, whatever it is that they need us for. We do gift cards for raffles and things like that. And if there's any viewers of the show here who are on a PTA or who are with the school, they can get in touch with Anastasia or I would be happy to work with them.
Okay.
We also work with a lot of sports teams. We were in the majority of the Montgomery County Swim League swim teams over the last couple seasons. We're in the Northern Virginia Swim Leagues. And then we work with about maybe a dozen different civic associations and local community groups.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
And I really applaud your efforts to get more healthier options to the schools because we just need to continue to do that. So when you spoke of a promo code, what does the promo code do? Does it give you anything?
It gives a discount.
Okay.
And if it's with a fundraising organization, it triggers a donation.
Awesome.
So so you'll see with different types, if your PTA has a program with seasonal roots, they'll say XYZ school, it might be the promo code.
Okay, excellent. So what are your ties to the local community? I know you spoke a little bit about that, but how did you get involved with seasonal roots?
Well, I have, Glenn and I have totally different stories because my brother-in-law introduced me to seasonal roots, and that was during COVID time. I was I'm a homeschool mom, and I had to take all of my kids from one grocery store to another to get my produce and everything I needed. And then I would have to put it in the cart and then bring it to my car, and then from the car unload it to my home. So I was looking for something better that would save me time, and at the same time, I really want to support local farms, and I wanted my kids to eat healthy food, fresh and local and seasonal and organic. And once I tried seasonal roots, I never went back to any other items, any other grocery stores. And then what I like about it is that I choose what I want, and during the time, it's not during the week when I have to go and do this. So I can do this when we are traveling during the weekend or something from the car. My husband drives, and I just spend 1 or 2 minutes, and I hear my order is all done. Or when my kids go to bed, and then it's very convenient, and then it shows up at my door. And I actually had to open 2 accounts with seasonal roots because of the volume that we consume of all the produce. And then just in the fall of last year, I started receiving emails from Glenn inviting me to be a driver for seasonal roots. And I thought, well, I can do a couple of hours once a week. And so I started driving for seasonal roots. And then I heard this past summer, that seasonal roots wants to expand to Baltimore. And they wanted to open a new hub in Columbia maybe, and said, hey, pick me. So I know Columbia very well, I know Laurel very well. And so I kind of dove in, and now seasonal roots, we are a member of the Laurel Board of Trade, and I attend all the networking meetings, which was a lot of fun, introducing seasonal roots to Laurel and to Columbia. And so we have several fundraisers going on. Lars is doing fundraiser with us.
Excellent.
And during the turkey trot, I was there with my display table giving away flyers. And we also have a fundraiser with a New Day in Laurel, and also Laurel Playhouse.
Excellent.
So we're looking for more schools, swim teams in Laurel, any businesses. That'd be awesome.
Okay, sounds good. Did you want to add anything?
Well, my background in Maryland and Montgomery County is from birth. I was born in Silver Spring.
Okay.
I grew up in Rockville. I've lived a bunch of different places. I've lived in Laurel many years ago, and but I know the Laurel community really, really well, and love the Laurel community. It's such a unique place. There are so few small towns like Laurel, places that have a small town feel like this that have maintained it. You know, I think around and in my head like Laytonsville, and there's just a few other examples of like the really great Main Street feeling. I love Laurel. Anyway. I got involved with Seasonal Roots. It's very different than Anastasia. I was working in restaurant management, and COVID came. I was home, and I started thinking, well, people are still eating, but how are they eating now? And I needed to think about my family too. And I found my way to Seasonal Roots and began working as a driver, and also enjoying the discounts that come with being a driver on the food side. And I just got really excited about what the company was doing, and I met the owner, and we talked about growing it in Maryland, and so in the last 3 years we've had a really big expansion in Maryland. I say we're in 300 or 400 homes a week now, and looking to hopefully take that a lot further.
That is just fabulous. I mean, it sounds like it's really it's just a convenience in so many ways for so many people. So what is the best way to sign up for Seasonal Roots delivery? Let us know.
Well, anyone is welcome to just go onto seasonalroots.com website and put the promo code LBOT.
LBOT.
And I'll give you a discount, and then you're a member.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's 50%. Normally, if someone just goes online and signs up for Seasonal Roots, it's $50 as an annual membership.
Okay.
And that allows you to then access the market weekly and decide whether you want to place an order. There's no obligation once you're a member. You choose each week to order.
Okay.
But we discount that half, so it's $25 to join for a year if you use the code LBOT. And so we're going to leave that on the website as long as our video here is on YouTube and this interview, and so people will be able to see it and join, and we look forward to delivering to them.
Well, thank you for that. So I was going to say one thing. Like, let's say every weekend I place my orders, but I know next week I'll be on vacation, maybe for 2 weeks. Could I suspend it and then pick it up? Can you do it that way?
You can just click skip. Or you can create your own calendar. There's a calendar on the website where you can unclick those days or those weeks when you know you're going to be away, and you can pause and unpause anytime.
Okay, sounds good. Okay. So I want to ask you just one last thing. How can people go, where can they go to support you?
Any fundraisers that we're doing.
Okay.
They can go online and become a member.
Okay.
If you are looking for a fundraiser, you can contact us too.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, the best way someone can support Seasonal Roots is by helping us support the community.
Okay.
And so working with schools, civic groups, kids sports teams and so forth has been one of our most successful ways of becoming really involved in the community. And so there's lots of them out there. Anastasia mentioned some. You can get in touch with us. We'll tell you about the different groups we're supporting locally.
Okay.
And so if you say, well, I want to try Seasonal Roots, but I also want to support the community, We can go through. You could go through the Laurel Playhouse. You could go through, Lars. You can go through different organizations or schools fundraisers, and still join Seasonal Roots. Get that discount on joining, and then at the same time generate income for the organization that you choose.
That's fabulous. Kind of support your passion.
Absolutely.
It's a win-win. So I know we have covered an awful lot, and this has been such great information, but I'm going to give you an opportunity to say one last thing. Is there anything you'd like to, like a final thought you'd like to share with the viewers?
Well, I really enjoyed my journey with Seasonal Roots. I met so many amazing people, and many of them became members, and I just love getting emails from them just to say thank you and how their lives are changing because of the health that they're getting, healthy products. And it's wonderful to meet the like-minded people and bring health to their homes.
Excellent.
I would just like to close with saying we really appreciate being here and appreciate being so warmly welcomed by the Laurel and into Howard County communities. And it's very important to us to support local. As a matter of fact, we did some printing for an event here in town, and we went onto Main Street over to the print shop, and because we want to support the communities we're in, and that's my message to people: is even if you don't join Seasonal Roots or you're not interested in having a delivery service like ours, then fine, but go to the Laurel Farmers Market, or support the smaller local grocery stores, or farmers markets or roadside stands, but. Try to eat local when you can. It's healthier. It's good for the community. You'll like it.
It is. It is. Well, Anastasia and Glenn, both of you, thank you so much for being on the show. We appreciate you as members, and we really are going to do everything we can to support you in this venture because I think it's fabulous. So what a fabulous resource for our community. And I love the phrase on your website, from dirt to doorstep. That's just great. Stay tuned, and next up, we'll be talking with another one of our amazing Laurel Board of Trade members. You won't want to miss it.
Do you ever wish there was a more efficient way for you to get information about the City of Laurel? Well, now you can, because there's an app for that. The City of Laurel's mobile presence is changing platforms in late November to better serve its residents with the app My Laurel Maryland. The old app was called My Laurel MD, but the updated app comes with a new operating system, which IT Director James Cornwell Shields says will make it easier for citizens to contact the City of Laurel about issues they see. For this story and more like it, check out youtube.com/LaurelTVOfficial.
Hey everyone, and thanks for tuning in. This is Around Town with Laurel Board of Trade, where we shine a spotlight on some of our amazing local businesses that are right here in our community. I'm your host, Carla Conway, graphic designer with Uncommon Design, and I'm also one of the directors for the Laurel Board of Trade. Thank you so much for joining us. So today I'm here with one of our members, Mike Abbott. He is the owner of Big City Body Art right here in Laurel. Welcome, and thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So how long has Big City Body Art been around?
So we actually got established in 2016, February, March timeframe. We were established there.
Okay. So what hurdles did you have to jump through to open a tattoo studio in Laurel?
When we first came to Laurel, there wasn't a tattoo or piercing studio in the city limits. So we were the first. Okay. So it was a little new territory for everybody. In fact, they didn't want us here. They didn't like what the image of what a tattoo shop and a piercing shop would bring to the city of Laurel. So we worked hard, and we talked to the board, and we got a special exemption to be exactly where we are. During that process, we ended up doing some, we made some rules and some regulations. We submitted those to the city so that we follow. They added some restrictions on there. We get inspected twice a year now. Okay. So we've worked with the city and made it work. It's funny, last year at a Laurel Board of Trade event, where we got to meet the mayor and some of the other city officials. When I stood up to introduce myself, Mayor Mo actually walked up and he said, "I want to say personally that we did not want you here." He goes, "But you have changed my mind of what a tattoo shop and a piercing shop studio brings to the city." He goes, "I appreciate you being here." That's good. So I like that. It was a kind of validation.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, because that's, perceptions are not always everything.
Yeah.
But so not all tattoo studios are the same. So what separates your studio from the others?
So we offer a unique experience. When you come into our studio, it's a bunch of private rooms. It's not open setting. You're not getting a tattoo sitting next to somebody else getting a tattoo, and it's a one-on-one personal experience between you and your artist. That's a big deal. Also, we're a very family-oriented business, so we have our own kind of rules about what we allow on a tattoo. We just don't let you tattoo anything when you come into our shop.
That's good.
We don't do gang-related tattoos. We counsel, and we offer a consultation every time you come in. That way, when you get a tattoo, or a piercing for that matter, we talk about what you want, have an experience, so that you're not getting something that you're going to regret later.
That's good. That's good, because sometimes we need someone to tell us that voice of reason.
Yeah. So what we end up doing is a lot of times there's some 18, 19-year-old that will come in and try to get their first tattoo, and they're very excited, and they want something that they've seen somewhere, and they want to put it someplace visible. And we try to talk them out of being what we consider a job killer. Not so much out of it. We just want to make sure that they're very much aware that what they get done now may affect a career decision in the future.
Indeed. So I have a quick question. How old do you have to be to come into your shop to get the tattoo?
So as of right now, the city of Laurel has imposed an 18. You have to be 18 in order to get a tattoo.
Okay.
The city of Laurel is the only one that has that restriction.
Okay.
In the entire state of Maryland, there are no restrictions. We're the only ones that have to follow some sort of restrictions at this point.
Okay.
There are no state restrictions. There's no state certifications.
Okay. That's a good thing, though. That sets you apart.
Yes.
So tell us in some of the ways you're involved within the community.
So every year since we've started, we've come to Laurel Main Street, do the Main Street Festival, which is something that we have a lot of fun at. We get to meet everybody. And then even a much more fun event is the Trick or Treat on Main Street.
Yeah.
So we show up and we get 3,000 to 4,000 pieces of candy.
Woo!
And we show up and we're there for the full 2 hours, and we have a lot of fun, and we get to see the children every year. And we get to see the parents as they come by that have gotten tattoos and piercings, and some of the kids that have gotten their first tattoo, or their first piercings.
Yeah.
And we get to see them grow up. And we've done that every year since we've been. So some of the other things that we've done, this year was our first time that we've been working with the Laurel Pride Festival.
Okay.
We look forward to that being more in the future, being more involved with that in the future. Also, every year we work with LARS, and we adopt several families, actually.
That's great.
And we contribute, we collect toys, and we collect the paperwork for those families, and we do what we can to make sure that those families have a good Christmas. So every year we set up a box for donations to collect those toys, and we collect those toys specifically for Lars and a friend of ours in the motorcycle community that does a big country toy drive. So between those two, we get rid of all the toys that are collected. But this year we did something just a little bit different. We created our own Amazon shopping list that we posted on Facebook.
Yeah.
So the idea behind our shop is it focuses on artistry and creativity. So what we did was we created a shopping list on Amazon that has a lot of STEM-related items, a lot of crayons and paints and drawings and things like that, so that we want to be able to promote creativity and encourage the artistry in their community as well.
I think that is fabulous, because this is such a creative endeavor that you do. So do you have plans for the future?
Yeah, so we just went through the past year. We renovated the shop from 1 unit to 2 units.
Okay.
So the idea is that we've added a bunch of rooms, private rooms, and we're looking to add a few more artists to the team. As well as we want to expand into the permanent makeup, as well as some self-expression. So we actually have a tanning booth in there. We do some eyelash extensions. We're getting into the permanent makeup for eyeliner and microblading for that, and as well as some esthetician. We've got a room that's going to be set aside for an esthetician. We're working on that as well to be able to do injectables like Botox and things along those lines. So we're trying to expand our services a little bit, and basically all evolve into the expression, the freedom of expression. We brought in facials and waxing So all of these services, we'll be updating that over the next couple of months and be adding that to our service list as well.
That's really great. That's fabulous. So I have a question.
Sure.
Based on what you're doing, is there some sort of particular skills that these artists need? I mean, do they have to have an artistic background? I mean, it's just so unique and creative. What are some of the backgrounds that some of these artists have?
So all of them are very creative, and all of them are very artistic related. And with being that means that they're all over the place. As far as certifications and things like that are concerned, in the state of Maryland, there's no certification to be a piercer. There's no certification to be a tattoo artist. You just have to basically look at their artwork, and there's an apprenticeship that every tattoo artist should go through.
Okay.
All of our artists have gone through an apprenticeship to be a piercer and a tattoo. If you go to the mall to get something pierced, you're going to somebody that has practiced on cardboard for 2 weeks, and they get pierced.
So did they get a certificate or a license that says, I've had this apprenticeship for your people?
If you go through the apprenticeship in our program,
right,
you will get a certificate that says that you've got it, and you've done your apprenticeship through us.
Okay.
But that's basically it. As far as the other services that we offer, estheticians definitely have certifications. Some of the other services we do, but the tattoo and piercing, there isn't one available in Maryland for that. But we try to do our best to weed all that out.
Okay, interesting. So tell us a little bit about how many artists that you have in your studio, and if some of them have specific genres that they are really good at, and that's where people are going to go to get particular, like a non-traditional or this like reality type of tattoo. You know best. Tell me more.
Yeah, so so there's a lot of trends out there, and everybody seems to want to focus on a couple of specific trends. So the all standards are, you've got your graffiti, you've got your traditional, and then your non-traditional, and then you have what you call your Sailor Jerry.
Sailor Jerry.
Yeah. So there's a lot of tattoo out there. One of the fun one is a trash polka.
Yes, that's what I want you to tell me more about.
So the trash polka one is nice. It's kind of cool. Is what they basically do is they take a black and white tattoo with some geometric shapes and some nature and some whatever is mixed into that. And then what you do is you basically take a black and white picture and you splash red across it. Is the most common thing.
Okay.
Almost like you take a paintbrush and just splash red across it. It's like a swash of red.
So I'm envisioning something like really high contrast.
Yes.
Like almost a silhouette type of thing.
Yes.
With this red.
Yeah, with red, and typically it's been red, and that's been the fun version of that. And
that's pretty wild.
Yeah. So there's another trend too that Dio, our artist, he's actually, I don't say perfected it, but he's done it really well, and people have actually traveled great distances to come to see this. Is watercolor.
Ooh, yes.
So they'll do some watercolor tattoos, and that has become a very big trend as well. And he enjoys that because he likes the color to pop. A lot of people that have done the watercolor, the color seems to fade after the first year or two, but his seems to hold on for a lot longer. And it's definitely a different take on the tattoos, and a lot of people like it. He does a really good job at that.
Interesting. So I have a little follow-up question here. Sure. So I see two different types of tattoos. Sometimes you see the ones that are just like black. It's just like the one color, kind of monochromatic. And then you're starting to see like a lot of color. So are both of those popular? Is one more popular than others? I mean, are people really, they want that color?
Yes. So there is actually two different groups of people in that. There are people that definitely I want color, I want pop, I want it full. And then there's people that want just the black and white.
Okay.
Or black and gray.
So it's just a preference thing.
It really is just a preference. Yeah.
Okay. So do most people, when they come in, do they have a general idea of what they want? They're like, I know exactly what I want. This is what I want. And then if they don't, can you do something that's a little more custom and unique based on, you kind of have a consultation maybe with them? Tell us about that.
Yes. So every tattoo that we do, we have a consultation with. It is a sit down. We give you 30 minutes to sit down with your artist. And what it is you come down and you talk about the ideas that you've seen. There's an ongoing joke in the tattoo industry is you don't get your tattoos from Pinterest. Right. So because it's a trend, and then everybody else has got that same tattoo in it,
Yeah.
and you want something that's unique to you. So what our artists do is they'll sit down with you and they'll discuss what it is that you're trying to accomplish. In a lot of cases, they'll see a tattoo on Pinterest and they like the meaning behind it, but because everybody else has it, we want to make sure that what you're getting is you're paying for a very specific art, something that's custom, it's made just for you.
Yeah.
So an example would be an ongoing trend is the semicolon.
Yes.
And what the semicolon was in literary terms was a semicolon was it's a literary pause, and then you move on. So you have it's a stop in the sentence, and then it moves on to something else. So it has taken on a meaning, and originally was that there was a person that might have been sexually harassed, or they might have been raped, or they might have been sexually assaulted or raped, or thought about committing suicide, and they've overcome that. But it's now encompassing not just the suicide; it's the sexual assault. It's might have overcome drug problem. There's all of these things that it represents. So now when you're sitting across from somebody and talking to them at a party or in an interview, and they see that semicolon, they're in their mind going, so was this person on drugs? Were they raped? Were they sexually assaulted? What was going on through them? And they're guessing. What we try to do is try to take the positive side of that, is turn that into a positive. So what brought you out? What made you come out of it? What made you move on? And let's get that tattoo as well, as instead of reminding you of what happened to you, let's remind you of what brought you out of it.
Yeah, because that visual might be more meaningful.
Exactly. And so we're trying to do things like that. That's what the consultation is for.
Okay, so I had a question that somebody here asked me, and I want to address that. So
Sure.
They were talking about different type of skin types, and sometimes, if someone has sensitive skin, or maybe if they even have a skin condition, is there something you can tell us a little bit about that? Like, where wouldn't you do a tattoo if the skin was, had an particular issue before you go to do the actual procedure?
Yeah, so that's part of the consultation. We want to go through and find out why. That's why we want you to come in, and so we can talk about the tattoo. We can talk about where you want it, and that's important.
Right.
Tattoos on people with skin conditions, I guess like eczema or psoriasis. You don't want to you can get a tattoo if you have those conditions. You just don't want to put it in a place where you regularly have a breakout. The skin in those areas, they will slough off and it will fade, and it becomes very hard and very difficult to tattoo. So the ink doesn't take it consistently. So you really want to stay away from those areas. Also, we want to talk to you about where you're getting a tattoo, because in some places, if it's your first tattoo, or even if it's your 5th tattoo or 100th tattoo, some places are more painful than others. So we want to make sure that you're very much aware of that before you do that. And in some cases, like tattoos on your hands, people, that's become a trend as well. I think people were getting mustaches on their hands, or getting rings around their fingers. And 6 months later, those tattoos would fade. So we want to make sure during the consultation that we tell you, it's going to happen. It's going to fade. If you want something meaningful, we probably should put it someplace off of your hands, and something along those lines. So that's the reason. We also, your skin color is different. Everybody's skin color is different.
Right.
There's not white and there's not black. There is every shade between there. So we also want to talk to you about that, because certain skin colors takes colors differently.
Right.
So that's why the consultation is very important to sit down. If you walk into a shop to get a tattoo, please consider the fact that you want a consultation.
Yeah, I would think that would be a good thing.
Yeah.
Now, I have another question.
Sure.
And I think it's kind of interesting. When you get the tattoo, tell me how long would someone say, okay, well, I wonder how long this would last. And then if after you answer that, you do touch-ups, and you were saying, if somebody does it on their hands, you're always washing your hands. So if you were to do something like that, I guess it would depend maybe on where it would be, but how long should you expect the tattoo to last? I mean, this is a lovely lifetime, but do you do periodic touch-ups? How's that work?
So periodic, yeah. So we do touch-ups. So first of all, tattoos are supposed to last forever. Forever. I mean, you have to do something to remove the tattoo. Not
Forever
it's not
and
a
ever.
knife. Yeah, it's forever
Amen.
and ever. Amen. This is a lifetime investment. I laugh when people go, "Yeah, that's too expensive," but you would spend that money on the phone that you carry around, quite easily without question.
Indeed.
And this is something that is a custom piece of artwork that you're putting on your skin for the entire life.
Yeah.
So as far as touch-ups are concerned, what we do is we do a touch-up in the first 6 months.
Okay.
And you can come back in, we do a free touch-up. We just want to make sure that everything the color took, generally it's after 30 days. You come back after 30 to 45 days, after everything's healed. We get a chance to take a look at it, just to make sure that in some cases, you just never know. The color may fall out in some
Right.
areas. So what we do is we follow up and we pack the color back in or shading back in if it's necessary.
Do they put sunscreen on to protect the tattoo?
So yeah, I strongly encourage sunscreen when you're out in the sun.
Okay.
We also do something called we put a derm on your tattoo.
Okay.
Which is as soon as the tattoo is finished, we clean your tattoo and we put it's a medical saran wrap. Okay. It's not the saran wrap that you use to put your food in.
Right.
It's something that was developed for burn victims. It was something that happened when you're to go over a really bad burn. It keeps all the fluid from your body. It traps it onto that area. So, for example, we would take this what we call tattoo derm, and we put it over it, and it looks like a big piece of plastic wrap, and it goes over this. And what it does is it traps the blood and the fluid in here as it expels over the next couple of days of healing.
Okay.
Over 3 to 5 days, the fluid and the platelets and everything that have been expelled will also get sucked back into your skin, and it uses that to heal the tattoo.
Okay.
We get much better results that way. When you just leave it open, you're open to infection.
Sure.
Some people, they used to put Vaseline on it. Well, that just traps any infection.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's a no-no, everybody,
Yeah, that
remember.
is definitely a no-no.
Okay.
But yeah, so we find with that, they actually heal better and you scab a lot less.
Okay.
It looks bad,
Awesome.
but it turns out great in the end.
I wish everyone could see this tattoo. Do you have this tattoo on your social media? This is just
No, not
absolutely
yet.
beautiful.
Yeah, this is...
They're all, I imagine each one is just so, it's like a work of art and it's your baby. When you finish it, it's got to be an amazing, exhilarating feeling when you finish something of that detail. And I have like 1,000 questions for you, Mark, Mike. But I'm going to ask you, where can people go to learn more about you and support you?
So please go to our Facebook page, Big City Body Art, and our website is www.bigcitybodyart.com.
Okay.
We try to update that as often as possible.
Okay, and I'm going to let you come up with maybe one final thought that you'd like to leave our viewers with.
So I kind of touched upon it before. Tattoos are an investment. You spend that much on your phone.
That's true.
It's a lifetime investment. So please, please, please interview your artist. Don't just walk into a shop and expect to. Don't. It's not like a haircuttery. It's not next person up. Go in, interview, take a look, make sure that the artwork that you want is being done by the artist that you like, and then talk to the artist and make sure you like them. That I can't express that enough.
And sometimes the artist, like if you go to the website, do you get to see samples of that particular artist?
Correct.
And
yeah.
that's good too. Really study that and review that. And
Yeah.
That's excellent. Well, Mike, I have just really enjoyed meeting you and learning more about this process. And I just never knew there was just so much to this whole tattoo business.
Appreciate the
I
opportunity.
appreciate your time.
Come see us.
So there you have it, another fabulous resource we have in Laurel. So if you've been thinking about getting a tattoo, they can bring your vision to life. It's something you'll proudly wear for a lifetime. So I want to just thank you so much for joining us today. And if you have a business and would like to be featured, reach out to me. I would love to learn more and shine the spotlight on you. Send us a message, go to our website at laurelboardoftrade.org. Also, on our website, you can learn so much more about the Laurel Board of Trade and all the benefits and the many events that we sponsor. We invite you to join us for business networking. It's every third Thursday of the month. Join us for online networking. We're still meeting up virtually. We have a powerful mix of business leaders, and that can help expand your network. So that's a wrap from the Laurel Board of Trade. Our tagline is small business, big ideas. And remember to shop local. I'll see you next time.